All right, guys. We are going to try this just so you can get a different perspective and we can learn how to take notes with just listening and me not stopping and talking. So we're going to end World War II. Let's go. All right, so our plan today, our objectives are the students will evaluate the causes and effects of America entering World War II, and the student will analyze the African American experience in World War II and how that affects their lives after war. I do not have your essential question on the slide because I want you to take the objectives and write an essential question. So I need you to go ahead and do that. Our agenda, we've already done the AP multiple choice. We're going to look at World War II home front. We're going to end it. We're going to look at the African American experience, and then we're going to get out of here. So the first slide, where is the U.S.? We know that the U.S. is not in the war yet, all right? And we know that after World War I, Americans adopted the old isolationist policy. So what they're going to do between 1935 and 1973, so 35 through 73, they're going to adopt some neutrality acts. If you look at the word neutrality, obviously we know that that means we're going to be neutral. Hence, that goes along with our isolationist policy. All right. So we're going to adopt these neutrality acts. So hopefully we're going to remain neutral or impartial if another war were to happen. So would we join if World War II is going to come in? Obviously, we're going to join the Allies because that is who we fought with in World War I, and we have more similarities with them than we do with the Axis powers who were fighting in World War II. All right. So what Wilson did in World War I is going to be very similar to what FDR is going to do. FDR is going to trade some destroyers. And so we know he's going to trade destroyers to Great Britain, and that kind of doesn't necessarily look very neutral. It's going to be on a cash and carry basis. Dr. Ruttenberg talked about cash and carry when she was in the class, so we kind of know it's very simplistic. You're going to give us cash, you're going to carry them away, all right? So he started doing that with Great Britain, which doesn't necessarily look very neutral, and that's when he implemented the Lend-Lease Act. She also talked about that when she was in our classroom as well, all right? So we know after World War I, Wilson issued his 14 points. So what's going to happen is Churchill and FDR are going to get together and they're going to issue the Atlantic Charter. And that is kind of the vision of the world after war. So it's going to be very similar to the 14 points that Woodrow Wilson issued after World War I, but it's not the same. All right, so it's going to be Europe promoting kind of self-determination and cooperation. But on the fateful day, you need to know this date, December 1941, December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor is going to be attacked by Japan. And the very next day, FDR is going to ask Congress to declare war on Japan, which obviously ends our neutrality to join World War II. Why would Japan want us in? Because we are a huge country, and they thought at that point they were going to win the war. And so when they won the war, they wanted us involved in the war so they could get stuff from us. Sorry, Japan, it doesn't work out that well for you at the end of it all. But that is why Japan wanted us involved in the war. So what I need you to do right now is we've only had one slide of notes, but it was a lot of information. So I need you to stop, and I need you to reflect, and I need you to have one interaction. And hopefully your essential questions look somewhat similar to the essential questions that I have wrote on this slide.